Hey everyone, welcome back to Gilded Reviews. Today we're taking a look at Stardew Valley from developer Concerned Ape. Stardew Valley has been out for a while, and many consider it to be one of the best 16-bit simulators around. This title was so popular the developer decided to add multiplayer, so I thought I would jump into the beta and take another look. Instead of going in-depth on the basic mechanics, I will discuss the things that stood out to me, what multiplayer brings to the table, and why I think this title did so well. And if you liked the video, leave us a comment, consider subscribing, or throw us a thumbs up. It really helps us out. For people who may not know, Stardew Valley is a retro farming simulator modeled after classics like Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing. This title is packed full of content. It has farming, fishing, a relationship emulator, crafting, even some light combat and RPG elements. These mechanics are simple, making everything more inviting and less overwhelming. The two main things you need to worry about are time and energy. Energy is fairly simple to manage. Just eat or sleep when you are low and you are good to go. Time, on the other hand, is very constrictive, acting as a rough balancing mechanic, making it less possible to grind your way quickly through the game. Let's move on and talk about a few of the things that really stood out to me. First off, farming in Stardew Valley is very addicting. Even though watering, hoeing, and planting can be monotonous, when it comes time to harvest or upgrade your tools, it all feels worth it. That feeling of accomplishment really kept me glued to my seat. On the other side of that, I had a hard time with the fishing. It felt like it was just overdone in comparison to everything else in the game. For instance, farming is very simple. Fertilize, plant, water, and harvest when ready. The combat is also just point and click. Nothing fancy, no skills, no deep equipment system. Just face the right direction and jam on the attack button. Relationships seem to be in a similar boat now as well. With fishing though, the game decides to get remarkably deep, throwing in a Flappy Bird type balancing act between you and the fish. This is of course if you manage to get a hit. 7 times out of 10 it will be trash that just takes up space in your inventory. It just felt extremely out of place in such a relaxing and simple game. What I am getting at is it's fine, and honestly a pretty decent minigame. Unfortunately, I found myself ignoring it and then getting frustrated when I had to complete the fish tank at the community center. This was really the only issue I had. Other than that, everything went a lot smoother than my first playthrough a few years ago. Because for one, I had some experience under my belt, and two, I played the entire game multiplayer. Honestly, it did not change the experience that much. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Having a friend around was awesome, and it really seems like the best way to play. The original game was fantastic, and creating that same feeling in a multiplayer setting is amazing. We only came across a few small issues. For instance, almost everything is shared. Money, land, even your tools are easily swapped in and out with each other. This creates a great co-op experience, at least until you start crafting, which is dependent on your character's level within different areas of the game. This isn't a huge issue, but it forces people into specific roles, at least for a little while. I focused on foraging, fishing, and farming, while Landon focused on animals, wood, rocks, cave diving, and pretty much everything else in the game. I am pretty sure I was carried. He even managed to romance Emily, which thankfully was completely independent from mine. As far as the bugs that we encountered, they were minimal and mostly pertained to audio issues. I could hear animals on the farm while he was taking care of them, even though I was in the mine. Also, if someone logs out with your tools, they keep them, at least until they log in and drop them in a chest for you. It also kind of sucks that they're non-dedicated servers, so whoever makes the farm has to be logged in to play, and you can't just go AFK and let them play. Time will still carry on, and you will pass out at 2 AM. Overall, we had a lot of fun, and this was like his 3rd or 4th playthrough. Stardew Valley has a ton to offer, and the developer did a fantastic job spacing out the content in a way that keeps you entertained for way longer than you should be. And really, that is a big reason why I think this game did so well. You couldn't just run through and complete the community center in just one season. You had to learn, plan out what you were going to grow, and level your skills over hours of playtime. This is compounded by a clock that does not baby you, forcing you to really balance your time, picking and choosing what to focus on. The pacing of Stardew Valley kept people talking about it well after it was released. And on top of that, unlocks are spread out. You don't just unlock everything in the first hour. Sometimes it takes 30+ hours to get something unlocked, and each time it offers a new and fun thing to experience. The events throughout the year are another great break that help make you feel like you are a part of the community. Going in and trying to win first place in the county fair is just plain fun, and gives you something to look forward to the next year if you don't take home first prize. Lastly, Stardew Valley did a great job recreating that 16-bit atmosphere that works so well with these types of games. From the sounds to the animations, everything feels like a trip back to 1995, but in a good way. The attention to detail the developer put into this title is what really makes it stand out. Let's go ahead and do do a quick little pros and cons list and wrap this review up. For the pros, we have addicting gameplay elements, a tremendous amount of things to do, finishing a harvest gives you a feeling of accomplishment, the pace of unlocks is well balanced, multiplayer ruins nothing from the original experience, and lastly, the combination of the art, animation, and sound create a fantastic 16-bit world. And on the con side, we have some fishing mechanics that feel out of place, small audio glitches in multiplayer, heavy and sometimes monotonous grinding, and lastly, the multiplayer leveling mechanics need some work. That is really about it, guys. This game is amazing. As for an average playtime, it really just varies. I myself have put in over 100 hours and could easily drop more, especially when they fully release the multiplayer. I recommend Stardew Valley to anyone looking for a title that they don't want to feel stressed out playing. This is also a great pickup for any fan of the Super Nintendo era that enjoyed titles like Animal Crossing or Harvest Moon. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Stardew Valley took Steam by storm when it came out. Have you had the chance to play it yet? If so, what did you think? Are you excited for the multiplayer? Anyhow, thanks again. If you liked the video, check out some of our other content, and we'll see you next time.